Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm Hammerhead. I hope you're having an amazing day. And so today, let's talk about what we were loving in March. Now, let me say it. Sorry, I was a bit MIA. It was a bit of a crazy month. I visited Texas, came back to the UK, and then I had a lot of work, had some shoots, realized that I have to move out of my house. So I've been house hunting for the past 2 weeks. Do not worry. If you love house hunting vlogs, it will be coming out soon. It was a bit of a crazy month, so sorry about that, but let's get back into it and talk about what we were loving in the month of March. First, with our beauty and fashion favorites. So as I said, I went back to Texas in February and early March, and I got to visit my friends, I got to see my family, I got to go all over Texas. It was so nice to be back home. But I went there for a wedding. I went to go see my friends get married, hashtag invest in love. One of my friends, she has like wavy-ish hair, not as curly as mine, but she has like wavy hair. And I need to take a shower, and she was like, oh, do you want to use my hair dryer? And I was like, granted, hear me out. I've never really used a hair dryer. The only time I use a hair dryer is to blow dry my hair, obviously. The only time I use a hair dryer is when I know I'm gonna straighten it afterwards, because every time I just blow dried it without like a diffuser or anything, my hair would always look like Hagrid. I'm not joking. My hair I never blow dry my hair, because every time I blew dry it, it did not look good. I was like, so I just can't blow dry my hair because I have curly hair. And that was just the end of that for me. So I never had a blow dryer. But my friend, she was like, oh, do you want to use mine? I brought my diffuser. And she was like, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure. Like, oh, I don't know. She's like, no, like your hair's so curly, like it'll make it look really bouncy and juicy. And I was like, sure, why not? I trust my friend. She's a great friend. She has beautiful hair. I trust her. And guys, my eyes were opened that day. I understand why people have hair dryers. I understand why people have hair dryers. I understand it, and I understand the diffusers. This month, one of my favorites was my own hair dryer with a diffuser. This is the Tresemme Keratin Smooth. It was like, I think 20 bucks at Boots, but it was like 20 pounds, and it came with also like a heat protectant, as well as different like clips and like different attachments and stuff. So honestly, I was like, this is a pretty good price. And so I've been loving it so far. It's really nice. Don't judge my hair right now, okay? I've been out and about. It's been a day. But I really do enjoy it. I think my hair really does look so much. I did not realize how voluminous your hair can get when you blow dry it. Like, I already have pretty curly hair. Like, it will hold a shape, it will hold a curl. But I did not realize that whenever I was looking on Pinterest for like curly girl hair, like haircuts, I was like, I have that kind of curl. I was like, but it's not as voluminous. It's the hair dryer. Literally, my life has changed. My life has changed. I literally feel like a real girl now. Like, I feel like, I'm like, whoa, like, I have to blow dry my hair now. Like, it genuinely changes the game, and not having to be like, I need to take a shower 3 hours before I go to bed because my hair's gonna be sopping wet and I don't wanna go to bed with like sopping wet hair. But to be like, oh, like I can take a shower and then I can blow dry it and it'll be fine, and I don't have to go to bed with sopping wet hair. It's such a game changer. It's such a game changer. So I've really been loving this month. Landry, thank you so much. My eyes are open and I'm awake and I can see, and I'm really happy I have a hair dryer. All right, my next favorite is the Milani Fruit Fetish Lip Gloss. Now, I have this lip gloss. It looks like this. As you can tell, I love this lip gloss. I was carrying this around and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna make it work. There's nothing left in here. It's so empty. I don't know who I was kidding. It's empty, it's done. But I love this lip gloss so much. I think it's so perfect. I'm wearing it right now. It's juicy, it's a nice tint, it smells nice, it keeps your lips moisturized. I love this lip gloss. But when I started running out, I was like, let me go run to Boots. Let me go grab it. It was like, I think 14 or 15 pounds. 14 or 15 pounds for a lip gloss. A lip gloss. Lip gloss should not be more than like $6, okay? Ridiculous. I was like, I'm not spending 14 pounds, 15 pounds on lip gloss. And then, so whenever I went back to the States, I got my lip gloss. It was like $9 or $10 in the States, which is still extremely expensive for lip gloss. We're losing the plot here. However, I was like, I love this lip gloss so much. I can pay that much money and enjoy it. I am very glad that I finally have my favorite lip gloss back in rotation, and she's so cute. All right, moving on to my next favorite is this black purse. Now, y'all, I wish y'all could feel how soft this leather is. It's from Cole Haan, and it's in like perfect condition. I really love the like stitching, because it's black leather with pink stitching. Someone said red. I think my mom said it was red stitching. This is pink. This is pink stitching, and I think that is like just the cutest littlest detail that you could have. It's just the perfect little bag. It's so, guys, I don't know, y'all, the leather is just so soft. It's just a really soft purse. I love it. It's great to like nights out. It's great to just wear during the day. The straps are just a little bit short, so I wish they were like an inch longer on both sides, because I know it'd just be a little bit easier to wear with like a jacket, but I don't really care. It's a perfect size. I wore this the other day when I went out like to a promenade at the park, and then I wore this out whenever we went out to the club, and it was perfect for both occasions. And there's like a decent amount of space. Like you have like one pocket, another pocket, and a zippered pocket. And I really, really love it with the hot pink inside, y'all. It's perfect. She's gorgeous. And this was like, I think $12 at Goodwill, which kind of expensive for Goodwill, but I love it. It's a great purse. And I think my mommy got this for me. So thank you, mommy. I love this purse. Okie dokie. Up next are my cowboy boots. Now I have 3 pairs of cowboy boots here in London. It is that serious. I am a Texas girly. I need my cowboy boots. These are my friend's mom's cowboy boots, and they're beautiful. They're gorgeous. Y'all, like, I'll be honest, they are just the tiniest bit, a little bit snug, but I will suffer through them because they are just the most beautiful boot in the world. They are so gorgeous. They're red with like the white embroidery flowers. They don't go with everything. You gotta be kind of specific on what you wanna wear, but they just make every outfit look so much more elevated and fun. Like, I love these boots. They're so beautiful. They're so gorgeous. Honestly, like, they're not the most comfortable, but I have walked like 5,000 steps in them, and like, they get the job done. They're just a really nice piece for whenever I want to wear some boots, but I want to wear like a little bit more interesting of a boot instead of like my plain brown boots. I think these are always just a really nice, unexpected touch. I've been wearing these a lot in the month of March. All right, and the last fashion/beauty item I was really loving in March is my dragonfly shirt. I love this shirt so much. I got it from Y2K Thrift Wholesale in London, and it's just, when I saw this shirt, I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. I'm gonna get it. And my friend was like, she's like, I don't know. She's like, that's a bit of like a loud shirt, but I'm a very much, the one thing about me, I love a pattern. I love a print. I love color. I love interest. I love detail. I love maximalism. I'm not very shy about that. And so I was like, no, this is gonna be so versatile. I was like, I can wear it with jeans, I can wear it with a mini skirt, I could wear it with, like trousers. And honestly, whenever I first got it, I didn't even realize that there were like dragonflies on it. But there were like some dragonflies. I just loved how the circles, I think it's just like, I love this side, how it, like the circles are so clear. And then this side's like really fun because then it becomes kind of like crackly. But it's just such a fun like shirt. Whenever I don't know what to wear, this with like just like some jeans and like these cowboy boots, so easy, so fun. And also it's a little bit tight, so it's a little bit, So yeah, I've been wearing that shirt a lot in the month of March. All right, now let's move on to my favorite media from the month of March. Now, for songs, I have 3 songs I was really, really listening to. Number 1 is Texas by Big X The Plug. Y'all, when I went back home to Texas, I was like, oh, like I was driving in my own car again. It's different when you're driving in like your car listening to music versus when you're on the bus listening to music. It's just a very different experience. And like driving through Houston, and I was like, I miss like, it's just like there's just a certain je ne sais quoi about Texas rap, and I just really, really missed it. So I like, whenever I got back home, I was like, oh, like this feels so good. It feels so homey. And so whenever I came back here, I was like, I need to listen to a lot more like Texas rap. So I was listening to that one a lot. Continuing on with Texan/Houston rap, Megan Thee Stallion's #1 Rule. I love that song. I think it's a great song that you listen to whenever you're like, wait a second, like I'm a baddie. I'm a baddie. I don't need to, I have all these things going for me. Why am I stumbling, and why am I losing myself over what some man would think of me? It's just a great reminder, because like when your stomach flat and your booty big and you can stay out all night long because you ain't got no kids, I mean, yes, you're so right, Megan, you're so right. So I was just listening to that one a lot just to like get aligned with who I am as a person. And the last song I was really loving in the month of March was Thunder by Lana Del Rey. I think it's just such a beautiful, whimsical song, and it just makes you feel like anything is possible. And I just like listening to that song, and you're walking through the city, and you're like, there's like, you feel the breeze like go through your hair, and you're like, don't wait, just do it, chase your dreams. Like, it's just a very beautiful song. It just makes me feel very part of like the city and like, you know, feeling all the feelings and romanticizing all the things that are going on in your early 20s, because it's like a crazy time, but you're also like, I'm loving it, but also I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel so lost and confused, and it's just a great song to be listening to. But also, if you want to see all the songs I was listening to in the month of March, my March playlist is linked down below, so you can take a listen. Guys, guys, Slayyyter's new album is out. Right. Have y'all listened to it yet? Because I pre-downloaded. I'm not playing. I love Slayyyter. And I went to a date last weekend, and I was just listening to Slayyyter's new album on this way to this haunted pub that I really wanted to go to. And I was just listening to Yes God, and like, you know, I had like some wine earlier that night, so I was like just walking through like the wind in my hair with Yes God like pumping in my ears. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Like I just love it. Anyways, if you have not listened to Slayyyter's album, go listen to it right now. Podcasts. I usually don't talk about podcasts because I usually don't listen to podcasts, but I was listening to two in the month of March and February as well. I was listening to Dan Carlin's Blueprint for Armageddon, which is like a super in-depth dive into World War I. And honestly, World War I is a part of history that I don't like know too much about. Like we talked about it in, you know, high school, and like we talked about it in like history classes, but I don't really know like all the details. Like I know about like, oh, like Archduke Ferdinand, you know, and like the assassination, the powder keg of it all. But there were so many, listening to this podcast, it was so interesting how many things were going on at once and how all these things kind of like led, you know, into this moment of time in history. There's only 6 episodes of that podcast, and each one is like, it's like 3 hours minimum, 3 to 4.5 hours. And it's all kind of like really depressing stuff. Like I was enjoying it, and then halfway through like episode 4, I was like, I'm kind of tired of this. I feel like this isn't good for my mental health right now. I'm going to take a break from listening to World War I atrocities, and instead I'm gonna listen to Heart Starts Pounding. And I loved Heart Starts Pounding with Kaylin Moore. I'm very much a spooky girl. That's why I went to the haunted pub on a first date. I love spookiness. I love haunted history. I love ghosts. I love ghouls. I love goblins. Like growing up, I was very much like, me and my friends would like, we would do like Bloody Mary in the mirror and at like school, and like we would tell like ghost stories. And I was always reading Mary Downingham, like all the lovely bad ones. Like all her books were so freaking scary, and like I was always reading scary stories in the dark. Like, let me just say, if you couldn't tell, like I love scary stories. I watched her YouTube video about the climbers in like Mount Everest, and that one was a really, really good episode. And then I was like, wait, it's a podcast, oh my gosh. So then I started listening to the podcast, and it's just been really fun because some stuff is like, you know, scary horror, but then some of stuff is like true story, true crime. True crime is always like a hit or miss for me just because it's like a bummer that it's like real. But like when it's like scary stories and like haunted places, I think that's like very interesting. But I've really, really been loving her podcast. And yeah, that one has been really fun to like learn about and discover. And y'all, I don't think I watched any TV shows in the month of March. I didn't watch like any TV shows, and I think I watched 2 movies, and they were on the plane coming back from America. It was The Running Man and Zootopia 2. Excuse me, Zootropolis, because it's called Zootropolis in the UK. Zootropolis was cute, it was fun, I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it like 4 out of 5 stars. And The Running Man, I think I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it. It was very heavy-handed with like the messaging, which honestly sometimes I'm kind of like, it was heavy-handed, but it wasn't spoon-fed, if that makes sense. Like it was very much like, you're gonna get what this is talking about, but like we're not gonna spoon-feed it. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. I honestly kind of forgot that I watched it. I'm glad I watched it for free on the plane and not paying for it in the theaters, because I really did want to watch it because I love Edgar Wright. But that movie was pretty okay, wasn't it? It wasn't really anything to write home about. Okay, and now on to the final topic, y'all. Books. What books we were reading in the month of March. Now, I'm gonna be very, very honest. I'm a bit in a reading slump. I was gonna talk about this in February, but I didn't do that video. But I was reading The Will of the Many in February, and I really did not like that book. It kind of just put me in a bit of a slump. Every time I read it, every time I opened it, I was like, I was not super crazy about the world building. I thought it was very confusing. I don't think things were like explained in a clear way. And I don't mean like you need to dumb it down. I mean, it was just like, nothing really was like explained clearly. And so I was trying to read that for a while, and then I just kind of stopped because I was like, I'm not enjoying this. I don't think this is for me right now. So I DNF'd it, and then that kind of put me in a bit of a slump. And so I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm just gonna read a book that I read in middle school that was like just so easy, so fast, just something to get me back in the swing of things. So in the month of March, I read 3 books. I read The Selection by Kiera Cass, The Elite by Kiera Cass, and Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I don't really have anything to say about The Selection and The Elite. They're meant for, you know, middle school kids, and the world is very silly. Like, it's like, I don't really feel like it would make sense to like really talk about it, because it just isn't, it's like I am not the correct audience to be reading that book. I read that book, I think, when I was like in middle school, and it's about, you know, like basically like a bachelorette meets like a dystopian world, and there's rebels and there's princesses, and you know, it's like, I don't think it's like a super well written book. There's not like a great depth to the characters. It's kind of just like whatever, but it was interesting enough and like nostalgic enough for me to enjoy reading it and to like kind of like get me out of that slump. And I'm probably still gonna finish it because I do want to finish it. And then Crown of Midnight, it was actually really fun to finish that one. Again, like that one, I was reading it in I think January, and I just kind of stopped. I was just not enjoying it. I need to take a break. I was like, this is kind of like getting old and repetitive. But I'm really glad I finished it, because there were some twists and turns that were coming along, and it felt really good. I think around like middle of the book, I was like, wait a second. I think I know the main plot twist of this book. And is it pretty obvious? Yeah, but also it just feels good to be like, wait a second, like there are enough hints for me to pick up like who this person is and like what she's hiding and all good stuff. So like whenever like I got that I was right about who, you know, the main character really is, and you know, closing the book, I was like, oh, yes. Yeah, again. I know it's not like the biggest twist in the world. It's not like the most intense turn in the world, but it was still like very rewarding to be like, oh, yeah, I love reading. I love a good twist. Now I'm currently reading Air Fire, and I think I'm about 60% through with that one. That one's also just a little bit of drag, just because they've introduced a new character, Manon, and every single time her chapter comes up, I don't want to read it. It's kind of slowed down in that book, but I do want to finish it, and I want to finish this whole series. I've heard amazing things about it, and I hear like down the line, like the books get really, 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 really good. If you have any book recommendations, you're like, girl, you know, if you like this, you're gonna love that. Or if you didn't like this, like try this instead, or anything like that. If you have any recommendations, let me know. I'm always on the hunt for a new book. I love reading, I love books. It's just like a bit of a slump in my life right now with books. So if you have any recommendations, I would really appreciate them. And with that being said, that is my March favorites. I really hope you enjoyed. And if you have any favorites, I would love to know what they were. Let me know down below. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, if you could please like and subscribe, I'd really, really appreciate it. That'd mean the world to me. And yeah, if you want to see my other socials, TikTok, Instagram, it's all linked below. And I will see you in my next video, which I think is going to be my house hunting vlog. God bless y'all. We're gonna have to pack up and move again. But I'll see you in the next one, and yeah, okay, bye.